Hello, I'm Betsy Ross from Game Day Communications in Cincinnati, and thank you for joining us again to learn more about the Catch the Wave conference coming up later on this month. With us today are Stephanie Leader, the CEO of Leaderpromos, and Fesha Buie, Supplier Diversity Specialist from U.S. Bank. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Before we get into the specifics of Catch the Wave and what's going to be offered, I want to ask both of you about your experiences in previous Catch the Wave conferences and really what we have gotten out of that. Fesha, I'll start with you.
So as a sponsor of Catch the Wave, we've been a sponsor for at least 3 years. What I anticipate and look for is the engagement, specifically looking for WBEs to come with their A game, be prepared to talk about their offerings, how that solution is going to support U.S. Bank. I'm hoping they will perform due diligence before approaching U.S. Bank to understand what our needs are specifically. I know sometimes it's easiest to say, hey, that's who I want to go talk to, but don't really do the homework that's required to provide the messaging that I can take back internally to say, hey, this is a supplier we may want to look further at or consider. So that's what I'm anticipating, that WBEs come with their A game, come prepared, that they're enthusiastic, and that they know how their services align with the needs of U.S. Bank.
Stephanie, how about you? How about your previous experiences?
Well, I have been a part of Catch the Wave and also WeBank for over, oh gosh, probably over 10 years now. Catch the Wave is one of the best events that I think is put on. And the reason I say that is because we have an opportunity to really connect with corporate, with different corporations and connect with one another. Catch the Wave is an empowering event for women all over. And I agree with Fesha that you should really come and make sure that you know exactly what your intentions are. There's going to be a lot of great activities, and I went through the agenda that's already out there, the schedule, and I saw a lot of opportunities for us to meet with each other, have some roundtable discussions on how to really change the way that we're approaching our businesses and how we are relating to our potential new customers and current customers in this virtual world that we are basically living in right now. But it's an opportunity for all of us to inspire each other. We've been in this pandemic for a while now, and not to remind everybody about the obvious, but it's a little lonely out there without having the connections that we're used to establishing. So regardless if this event this year is virtual, I think it's a great opportunity for us to make the best of it and commit to it. And like Fesha said, bring our A game. We need to support each other and continue on and not let this pandemic take us down.
And Stephanie, you talked about how business owners can use Catch the Wave really to help grow their business and grow their connections. As a small business owner, how have you used Catch the Wave in the past?
That's a great question. I've used it in a lot of different ways. The first way, obviously, is to interact and engage with other women business owners from all over, learning from some of the challenges that they've been faced with and overcome, and just giving each other really great advice and being there for each other. It's funny how a lot of us are competing kind of in the same space, but yet everyone who's a part of Catch the Wave really supports each other, and they'll do anything they can to help you. So that's been a really big plus from a small business perspective. Mm-hmm. Additionally, from a corporate perspective, it really gives members an opportunity to connect with people within larger corporations that they may not have the contacts to do so. And like Fesha said, if you go there with your A game and you align your capabilities and your value propositions with the companies that you're looking to speak with, it's a great introduction to be able to have that opportunity to show who you are and what your company can bring to the table.
Fesha, you are one of the people that people are going to want to come and meet. And I'm sure that in previous Catch the Wave conferences, you've gone home with a stack of business cards. But when these people come up to you virtually or in person, you mentioned earlier about doing your homework. What do you want them to come up to you with? Generalities or specifics on how they can help you?
I want specifics. As much and many specific details that they can bring. Capability statement, for one. I want them to understand, US Bank is the 5th largest bank in the US. I don't think it's that hard to understand what some of our needs may be. May not have to find details as to where we will have opportunities, but to easily discern that if you are in the janitorial space, for one, where our branches are, how your service can align with our footprint, be prepared to have a detailed conversation about their business, right? Understanding, I'm typically asking some quick key questions that tend to throw people for a loop. What's your revenue mix? I want to understand that. I want to know what your geography is. If you're local, that's fine. But if you're regional, I want to know what markets are you, what's your core? If you're national, tell me more about that. More companies are going to somewhat of a super regional or national platform. And I want to see how your company can align. If you're local, we can talk about those things. How further are you willing to engage in maybe a tier 2 relationship? Those are the things I would want to have a WBE be ready to talk about and be prepared to discuss. I want to see the capability statement, because I need to assess quickly about that company. Unfortunately, I have not had the opportunity to sometimes do the homework on the WBE who approaches me. But if you're taking the time to come up and approach me, I'm hoping you've done your homework to give some insight about what my needs may be. So that is what I would require of any supplier that wants to approach US Bank to do business. I will tell you, in the past, there have been some companies who have simply come up in the physical capacity and see US Bank and ask, so US Bank, what do you do? I hope that is not the case. I've not experienced it at Catch the Wave, I will say that. So at least people get the bank part is a financial institution. But, I'm hoping that folks are prepared to tell me more about their company, be prepared to show me where their alignment will be, what's the value proposition, what am I going to get out of it, right? Yeah, it's great that we can converse, have a conversation, but tell me, why should I pick you amongst who we already currently are doing business with, or along the lines of your competitors? I want to know those things, because that's value. I can go back in internally with our buyers and I can pitch that. I can't just say, oh, it's a WBE and they want to do business with us. That means nothing. What's the competitive edge?
US Bank is a sponsor of Catch the Wave. Why is it important for US Bank to sponsor events like this?
Oh, it's vitally important for us to sponsor events such as Catch the Wave and other diversity events. We talk about being the best bank of in America. The way we do that is by diversifying ourselves. We're trying to look at the brightest and the best out in the market. It gains us exposure. It allows our customers, our clients, to know that we support diverse individuals. We support diversity. We are made up of diverse individuals within our workforce. So it aligns with our messaging around DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So that impact alone, for me, speaks volume. I love and am passionate about supplier diversity because I get to help my community. And when I get to do it from a sponsorship position, where I'm saying where our dollars should go to support the community, um, I feel like I've accomplished a lot,
Mhm.
but it's my job. So as an organization, I think we feel that I would say that sentiment is definitely felt, because we, not only support WBECORV, but we support WeBank from a national standpoint. So we're corporate members, and we attend those conferences specifically when they were in the physical sense, and we look to continue to do so um, going forward. So I don't think that's going to stop.
Stephanie, you mentioned that you've been involved in the organization for 10 years plus. Starting out in your business, what did you get from your relationships and your connections that you made through events like Catch the Wave?
I feel that the things that have influenced me the most have actually been having those conversations with other WeBanks and also with people like Fesha. When she just spoke about what to expect and what to bring to the table. We call that internally knowing your customer, KYC. You need to understand and not just go after business, but also go after a business that's a good fit, where you're going to be able to pair up with a supplier diversity manager who's basically going to champion you throughout their organization. So when I first started, I didn't really understand how this whole process worked and how procurement got involved in the supply chain and the role of a supplier diversity manager. But it's intense because they're basically giving their word to the other corporate members within their company that they should listen and invest their time to meet with your organization. And if that's the case, they're putting their neck out there for you. So you do have to come and learn the ropes. And I would really recommend those who are newer members to attend a lot of the workshops and classes so that you can get some of the tips on how to be a good advocate for yourself and your organization, and also support those around you and help them. Sometimes we are making connections with other people so that they could do business together. And it's not something that behooves us necessarily, but it helps our friends out. And like I mentioned before, one thing you'll learn from being a part of Catch the Wave is that the women who are involved in this organization and the men from a corporate perspective and attendance, they are all there to help one another. And they will do whatever it takes to help get you to that next level. So you have to be open-minded. And even though someone like myself, who's been in business for 25 years, it's true that you have to be able to open your mind and listen to everyone, small business, medium business, large businesses, because there's a lot to learn. And that's something that people can really take away from the time and the investment that they put into this event, because there is a lot to benefit from.
And Stephanie has some great advice for those who perhaps have not been to one of these conferences. Fesha, do you have any more advice for someone who's still thinking about signing up?
I would advise that while you may be seeking opportunities with a corporation, I would also encourage that WBEs who consider coming, think about doing business with other WBEs. It's vitally important that the support is around the board, right? And you can drumming up business with a corporation is one thing. Drumming up business with a WBE, it's another touch point, in my opinion. So there's Summit and Salutes, which is through WeBank National, and it's an event that actually was going to kick off our conference season this year, but of course we were impacted with COVID and it was canceled. It was one of the first events. And what I value about Summit and Salute, and which Catch the Waves definitely builds upon that, is the opportunity to speak with the corporation, but allows for you to pitch, right? Not only to me as the corporate, but to your other WBEs. What makes you think that a WBE may not need your service? They're a business. So I would encourage and allow or suggest to WBEs who are thinking about it that if you think hey, I might not be able to get business with the with the corporation out the gate, you have so many other of your colleagues in that space, your peers, your WBEs, that you may be able to walk away with a contract. But more than that, you're trying to build a relationship. So think of it as courting. You're not going in for a quick move here. You're going in for long term. So if you want a sustainable relationship, you're going in to build a relationship. And if you come in with that mindset, I think you will have a positive experience. I think it will create so many other opportunities, not only with the corporation, who you're speaking with and developing relationships with that representative, but with your WBEs who can support you as well, and maybe through a business opportunity. So that will be my inducement as to why you should come to Catch the Wave.
Good. Well, good advice from both of you. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your insights on Catch the Wave coming up. Stephanie Leader, CEO of Leaderpromos, Fesha Buie, Supplier Diversity Specialist from U.S. Bank. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you for having us.